What is the maximum benefit you can get from Social Security in 2024? There's been some changes to Social Security. Some numbers are out. We're going to go through them. We're going to talk about what we need to know about 2024 Social Security, starting with what is the most you can possibly get in the year 2024. Welcome to the show, Tony Shore. We're talking Social Security again. You know, this is my favorite topic. I know you get very animated about this. You're very interested in it.
Oh, I am, because I want to make sure my wife and I do the right thing when it comes to Social Security. And I think figuring out what the maximum amount you can get, one way to do that, and maybe this is what you're going to do, is look at what can lower my amount, what things lower my amount, and can I watch out for those things like taxes, Medicare, those types of things. I want to make sure I'm not doing something to lower my amount that I don't have to, right?
Well, let's talk about what the new numbers are, and I will get to it. I mean, a lot of people watch the show and they want just the answer right away, and they say, you're nothing but noise and that I talk too much. So we're going to give them the number right off the bat. But for those watching on YouTube, this is the link. You can go to ssa.gov and get this data yourself. But the max benefit 2024 is $4,873 per month. That's $58,476 a year. So somebody out there, maybe you watching, is going to get a check for $4,873 starting in January 2024. Maybe you're already receiving it. What do you think of that, Tony? $58,000 a year.
Yeah, I don't think very many people get the maximum amount.
Well, let's talk about what you have to do to get there, because that's the next question.
Yeah.
How do I get that? I'll take it. But look at that. If you have a married couple doing this, that's $116,000 plus a year. And then you get cost of living adjustments on top of that every year, if they give you one. So, two factors in order to get that the most. Number one, you have to have worked for 35 years and maxed out your taxable Social Security earnings. And number two, you have to wait until age 70 and get those delayed retirement credits.
Sure.
So the only people, if someone says they're getting $4,873 a year, you know that they are at least 70 years old and that they worked for 35 years at the highest rate taxable rate that they could have. So that's not bad, though. Think about that. $58K, that's a good foundation for a solid retirement. And for many people, that's enough to retire off of. That alone for one person would satisfy a family. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
A big deal. But when people ask, how do I get it? How do I get $58,000 a year for Social Security? Wait till 70. You know, and if they say I did wait till 70, I'm getting half of that. What's the deal? Well, you didn't earn as much over the top 35 years of your life.
Yeah.
Here's the max you can get next year in 2024 at your full retirement age, which is 67. The max is 3822. So that's 46,000 a year, roughly.
Still pretty good.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Right. So you're getting an extra 13,000 a year if you wait those 3 years, but you're foregoing, what is that? You're foregoing 140,000, something along those lines, if you wait 3 years. So how long will it take to get, So again, this is pretty good, but you and I both know that not many people are waiting till 70.
No.
And even less are waiting to 70 than 67, and not a lot of people are not everybody's waiting till full retirement age.
Right. The majority of Americans take Social Security as soon as they can at age 62.
Or earlier than full retirement age. Majority take it before their full retirement age.
Yeah.
The biggest, where people take it the most is 62, because I got it. Grab it before it's gone. Okay, let's talk quickly about some other numbers here. For the people that are still watching, they want to know, well, what do you mean by 35 years of max tax? What is that? 2024, you get taxed on your income, right? Everyone knows you get taxed on your income. You pay into Social Security. The most that you will get taxed. The most amount of income you'll get taxed in 2024 is 168,600. So if you make more than that, you do not pay Social Security tax on anything above 168,600. Now, so someone's saying 35 years of that, there's no way. Someone in 1985 making 170,000, that's unheard of. It was all based on its increases every year. So this was close to 160 last year in 2023. So it goes up, the amount. This is one of those things, Tony, that we've done shows on. I'll put it up here talking about fixing Social Security. This is one of the things that they could do to fix it.
Yeah, they could just raise that
this
amount. I mean, they could make it unlimited. Like if you make $3 million, you're going to pay Social Security tax off of $3 million in earnings. So,
right.
If they did that, they could immediately fix Social Security.
It would be a big step toward fixing it. But that's a tax increase. That's a tax increase. So that's a tough one. But and by the way, what are you paying on this? 168,000. Let's say you make 150,000. What percentage is going towards Social Security? 6.2. 6.2% is going towards Social Security for the employee. The employer matches that. So we're looking at 12.4% going into Social Security of your salary. If you're self-employed like I am, you pay both. I pay both. So I'm paying 12.4% of my income into the Social Security system.
Ouch. That's the tough thing about owning your own business or being self-employed, isn't it?
Right. But while we're on taxes, I might as well bring up the other fact that I'm paying into Medicare too. My son, he got his paycheck last year, first paycheck he got in, I think it was 2022. And he looked at it and was like, what is all this? And I agree. I laughed. I'm like, welcome to Medicare and Social Security. And he's
federal
like,
taxes and state tax.
That's not, I got to pay that tax on that. I'm not going to touch that. What is Medicare? I'm like, you got, 50 years, buddy, before you can go on Medicare. And there's another tax that's separate. That's 1.45% that goes into Medicare. So that gets added to the 6.2 and that's why you're getting 15% all in as opposed to the 12. But also there's a Medicare that extra tax for anyone making over 250,000 as a couple. They pay an extra 0.9% for Medicare. So I shiver because taxes, just to mention the word. I'm not going to get down that path. But if you're wondering, wait a sec, is Social Security taxed and I pay taxes? Isn't that a double tax? We did a show on that. Tony and I disagreed. We came to blows. I don't know if you saw that, Tony, in the House of Representatives, or was it the Senate chamber? Those two guys.
Let's go.
No, I'm serious, Tony. You want to settle this right now, Tony? Do you want to settle this double taxation on Social Security right now? Name a time and place.
I don't recall that we disagreed on that, but
watch the show. Earnings limit. This got also increased. So what is this? We did a show on the earnings limit. This is for people that are claiming Social Security before their full retirement age that are also working. You can make only so much before they withhold that Social Security benefit. That has increased. So it's $22,320 in 2024.
Right. Which is why if you're planning on working until you're 67, you probably don't want to take Social Security when you're 62, because if you're going to keep working full time, they're just going to take it back.
Right. You might want to do it to open up a window for a spouse. You might work part time,
but you're locking in a lower amount.
Yeah. So but there are people out there that are concerned about working and earning Social Security at the same time and working. This goes up. So that goes up every year. So the average, Tony, $19.07 a month is the average in 2023.
See, that's the average. Now we're getting more into reality. That's a lot less than the maximum of $4,800.
Yeah, what are we talking about? That instead of 58,000, we're at 24,000 or less.
Yeah.
That's like 40%, 45% of what this max earning is. So, welcome to reality, and you nailed it. Why is it so low? Because now everyone's waiting till 70. So I think it's like 4% of the population waits till age 70 to claim it.
I've never met anyone who's waited.
I have some clients that have. I have some clients. I have one client that it was 2022, I believe. He maxed out Social Security earnings at 70, and he was $3 less than the max. So he must have had 1 year of the 35 where he just didn't max out his taxation.
Wow.
So yeah, but if you look at a aged couple, then this is both people are on Social Security. The average for a dual Social Security income couple in 24 is $3,033. And that's even less than a single person waiting till 70, the max. So not, like you said, reality compared to the dream.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I think the reason, so if we go back, so look at that, the average is 1907 and the max is 4873. So more than double. What's happening here? You already mentioned people are taking it early, but why are people taking it early? There's a number of reasons to take it early. We did a show on why you should take it early. Watch that if you're wondering. We also did a show on why you should wait till 70. Both of those are valid reasons. You can make the case for either, but I think the main reason why there's such a discrepancy between the average and the max is, first, not everyone's a high earner. That's and it favors the lower earner. But the reality is people just don't know. They don't know. They make this decision rashly. They just kind of go with the flow. They do what their aunt did, and they take it earlier than they expected. And I think that's a big regret for people, particularly widows or widowers. I wish my husband was alive, but the fact that he died and he took it at 62 and I'm stuck with this lower amount, would have been nice if he waited until 70, because I would be getting more, and now I'm struggling. So to conclude, huge, drastic impact based on your earnings when you take it. And so you just got to know this. You got to know your numbers. You got to know that this is a lifetime decision, going to be hugely impacted by what you do with Social Security. It's going to impact your retirement. So you got to have a strategy. That's the conclusion here. These numbers change every year. The one thing that hasn't changed from Social Security is how much income you can make before they tax it. That's still the 1980s number.
85%. Well, 85%, up to 85% of your Social Security can be taxed, right?
Right. And it's based on 1980 income numbers.
Yeah, you didn't mention the big change to Social Security, which plays into this, which is the cost of living adjustment, which we've talked about previously, but I wanted to mention that it's 3.2% this year. The COLA adjustment, your Social Security will increase by 3.2%. So that helps your amount go up.
Mm-hmm. And that's factored into these max numbers that I put in there. The COLA is already factored in, but you're right. The COLA is nice. So if you're maxing out and getting 58,000 a year, it's only going to go up from there based on the COLA, and that COLA on the higher number as a percentage could be real nice. Think about 40 years ago in the 1980s, someone making 58,000 in retirement was considered very wealthy. Now that's just one Social Security check potentially. If I could go back in time, I would have them peg the taxation limit on Social Security earnings to inflation so that not everyone's paying tax on Social Security. But or I would just give you a call and say, next time you go to a Depeche Mode concert, maybe you can talk to the people over there, because those are the people that made all these Social Security changes back when Reagan was president. How do you feel about that, Tony, liking and going to concerts that Ronald Reagan was probably listening to?
That's true. That's true. Musically, I'm a child of the 80s, I guess. That's my high school and growing up period is the 80s. I love 80s music. So I was a teenager in the early 80s. But yes, Depeche Mode, Reagan, the Reaganomics era. Yep, for sure. And I was in the Windy City, and it's not called the Windy City because of actual wind. It's because of politicians. They named it the Windy City. Did you know that?
Good. Fun fact, Tony.
Yeah.
Look at you dropping the
Chicago is the
knowledge.
Windy City because all the politicians in Chicago.
Well, hopefully the politicians will get their act together, fix Social Security, lower the taxation of it, make sure it's there for everybody. But if you don't have your own plan for it, you're almost just as bad as our politicians. I don't want to throw that much shade on anybody, but you got to have a plan. So get it, give us a call. We'll help you through it. Tony, thanks for a good show, and we'll see everyone next week.
All matters discussed in today's show are for informational purposes only.
This show is not investment advice.
Dan Riddle nor Dolphin Financial Group are affiliated or endorsed by any government agency.
Investment advisory services are offered through Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc., a registered investment advisor in the state of Florida.
Insurance products and services are offered through Dolphin Insurance, Inc.
Dolphin Wealth Management, Inc. and Dolphin Insurance, Inc. are affiliated companies doing businesses as Dolphin Financial Group.
You should talk to someone at Dolphin Financial Group before implementing any of these strategies or ideas.